On display right behind me is a piece of machinery that once belonged to one of the largest and fastest vessels of its time. A vessel whose legacy and end led America into a war that was once said to be the war to end all wars. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is a propeller from the wreck of the Lusitania. The RMS Lusitania was a passenger liner distributed under the Cunard Line in 1906. At the time, it was the largest ship in the world to be operated by a turbine. And along with her sister ship, the RMS Mauretania, was the fastest man-made vessel in the world. Both ships were fitted with turbine engines that allowed them to travel up to speeds of 25 knots, making a transatlantic voyage in only 5 days. Originally, Lusitania had 4 triple-bladed propellers just like Titanic, before being replaced with quadruple-blade propellers in 1909. When World War I broke out in 1914, the Germans began to practice unrestricted submarine warfare in British waters, making ocean travel rather dangerous once big ships began to approach Great Britain. News of these practices had reached America in early 1915, just as the Lusitania had left New York for the last time. On May 7, 1915, a German U-boat spotted her just 11 miles off the coast of Ireland and fired a torpedo. Within 18 minutes, the ship had sunk, resulting in the loss of 1,197 lives. 128 of those would be Americans, which sparked an outrage. As news of the disaster began to spread, views on the Germans had completely shifted in the United States, and people began to question whether the US should remain neutral or join the war. Later in 1917, the United States had joined the Great War, assisting the Allies along the Western Front. Within a year, the war was over. The wreck of the Lusitania was discovered in 1935, just 20 years after the sinking. The ship was in bad shape due to the impact on the ocean floor and the force of winter tides. The wreck was devastating. But even then, countless relics and items were salvaged, including her propellers. 3 of the 4 of them were removed. The second propeller that was removed was unfortunately melted down for scrap, so who knows where that ended up. The third propeller was put on display at the Merseyside Maritime Museum in Liverpool, England, and the 4th one is on display right behind me. Now the question is, how did this propeller end up here? Because currently, I am standing in the courtyard of the Anatole Hotel in Dallas, Texas. So why here? In 2012, billionaire Harlan Crow put it on display here outside of the Anatole. After it was salvaged in 1982, the propeller was for a while housed in the Military Vehicle Technology Foundation in Menlo Park, California. In 2009, Crow bought the propeller after the owner, a friend of his, had passed away. After it was purchased, it was put on display at the Old Parkland Hospital for 3 years, before eventually being moved to the Anatole in 2012. Now, this propeller isn't the only historical item on display here. There are thousands of bits and pieces of art and the past scattered around the property, from stone statues from early China to even a section of the Berlin Wall. This makes the Anatole the largest art and antique collection in the country. Now that's some impressive interior design. Overall, this propeller holds a story of disaster and warning, while also contributing to the legacy of America at war, and the lives we've lost because of it. So if you ever stop here in Dallas and visit the Anatole Hotel, take a minute and visit this relic, and reflect on the grand history and great disaster that it has witnessed. Because even though it might look like some rusty old propeller, it has a grand story to tell. I'm Hunter Karen. Thank you all for watching.